Snow White happened, and the movie was not well received. Not well received at all. But the box office is what we finally are able to see. So here we go. This is from Clay Travis, okay? But he's not on the side of Snow White at all, but I think it should be noted that this is a stat. So the film Snow White from Clay Travis will make just $14 million in week 2 at the box office, which means Disney is definitely going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars on the movie. The original 1937 Snow White made $4 billion, which is adjusted for inflation. The 2025 remake will lose $250 million or more. Okay. So I told you, I've been telling you for months now that this film was going to bomb. Made a video about it to show you just how disastrous it was. Gal Gadot, Rachel Zegler, they're butting heads, right? Because Gal Gadot, obviously, ex-IDF, ex-Israeli army member, whatever, big Zionist. Rachel Zegler, obviously, on the opposite side for the Palestinians, okay? Well, it just keeps getting worse for these people, and they don't understand that shitting on the original source material is bad, but Gal Gadot is also a really, really shitty actress. So this is from Vanity Fair. Snow White's failure has turned Rachel Zegler into a scapegoat and an icon. So Disney insiders are blaming the young actress for the film's poison box office, but their plan is backfiring. Here we go. For better or for worse, the name on everybody's lips is Rachel Zegler. The West Side Story star has found herself at a cross-section of internet discourse and the Hollywood gossip after her latest film, Snow White, flopped at the box office, earning a dismal $43 million domestically and just $87 million globally in its opening weekend after reportedly costing at least $350 million to make and market. Translation, it was a flop. Entertainment insiders are always primed to find somebody to blame for a failure on this scale. Hey, fuckface, maybe it was you. Maybe it was the producer. Maybe it was the director, the writer, who said, it's a live-action film. It's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yeah, for the live-action film, we're going to have all of 7 of the dwarfs be animated. Continuing on. In Snow White's case, the scapegoat seems to be Snow White herself, who, ironically, is not even white. But tried as those voices might be to implicate Zegler, the discourse seems to be having the opposite effect. The more that comes to light about Zegler and the Snow White debacle, the better the 20-year-old Zegler looks to many observers. I'll say right now, I don't particularly like Rachel Zegler. I think she's obnoxious, no question. That's just a fact. But I don't think she's 100% to blame for the film's bombing. Zegler and Snow White's difficulties began long before the film hit theaters on March 21st. From the instant her casting was announced in June 2021, she was subject to racism and vitriol from conservative-leaning Disney fans who were irate that Zegler, a Latina, had been chosen to play Snow White. You can have what issues you want, but if the original source material, the original Snow White film, was about a woman whose skin was as fair as snow, you can understand the outrage that some people will have. Granted, it really doesn't matter to me. This is a kid's movie, but we're talking about it because there's a lot of controversy. Continuing on here, things got thornier when the outspoken Zegler called her film's ancient source material weird, and said that the remake would take a different approach to the classic fairy tale, and messier when Zegler expressed her solidarity with Palestine in the wake of the war in Gaza. See, that is what I respect. When you have an actress or somebody that, whether they're an actor, actress, celebrity, whatever, when they can risk something to speak out about something they care about, regardless if you believe it or if you agree with it or you don't agree with it, you got to respect it. Because a lot of these people, like we discussed with chapel rowing, are not real. So the idea that, yes, Rachel Zegler may be obnoxious, but she's standing up for something that could definitely get her in trouble, something she believes, and you have to respect it. That was reportedly the straw that broke Disney's back. Tatiana Segal, Variety's executive editor on the film and media, reported this week that the Snow White producer Mark Platt flew to New York to talk with Zegler about the ramifications of a tweet she posted right after thanking the fans watching the film's first trailer. And always remember, free Palestine. So yeah, But it gets worse. The actress, whose relationship with the studio began to unravel in 2022 during a contentious West Side Story Awards season campaign, and continued as she trashed the beloved original Snow White, stood her ground, and then the post remained, wrote Siegel. Per her report, Disney was forced to pay for additional security for Snow White star Gal Gadot, an Israeli who showed support for her country in the wake of the October 7th attacks. My apologies. After Zegler's tweet, according to Siegel, Disney also hired a social media guru to vet all of Zegler's posts after she disparaged Donald Trump following his 2024 re-election, suggesting that the studio viewed her as a liability, and a costly one at that. Okay, so yes, people are blaming Rachel Zegler for the bombing of Snow White. But can we focus on Gal Gadot? Can we focus on Gal Gadot? She is a very bad actress, and I feel like everybody knows it, but for some reason they continue to put her in front of our faces. Why? I cannot remember a single memorable line from Gal Gadot in any movie that's good. No good line at all. I can think of the Kal-El, no. Kal-El, no. Kal-El, no. You just butchered it. It should have been so simple. I mean, I'm looking for this video right here, and I may not find it. But looking for this video right here, there's a compilation I want to find of Gal Gadot and her most memorable lines, right? Because there's so many memorable lines that are just bad. And I'm not going to find it. But it's just so crazy that they continue to put Gal Gadot in front of our faces because she realistically is not talented at all. I've never seen anything to implicate to me that Gal Gadot deserves another role. Here's her right here of playing the evil queen in Snow White, right? And it's a 7-second clip, but she doesn't look menacing at all. Anything about playing the evil queen. Look at this.
Are you against me too? Are you? Yes or no? Are you against me too? Are you? Yes or no?
She can't act. Look at this. She cannot act. You're coming off as being the villain. You're supposed to be coming off as being the villain, but look, she looks like a victim. You look like the victim here. I'm going to continue on. We're going to continue to look at it. Look at all Gal Gadot's worst lines. Once again, these are her worst line deliveries in films.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile. Kal-El, no. Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone else in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone. What happened to it?
What did you say?
So exciting. Very interested to find the man who bought those.
Why should I help you?
Because we're asking you nicely. Just tell me what it costs to get her away from me. Name a price. I'll buy the whole damn boat if I have to. Who are you? The lasso of Hastia compels you to reveal the truth. Now, who are you? But who?
Enough.
I said enough. As Amazons, this is our duty.
You have no idea what kind of power you're dealing with.
And enough champagne
To fill the Nile. Okay, the point is. Right, because there has to be a point. The point is, people don't like Gal Gadot because she's ex-IDF, outspoken supporter of Israel, right? We get that, but I would argue that Snow White, to kind of cap this topic off, I would argue that Snow White failed because of every reason. Not just because Gal Gadot is a shitty actress, not just because Gal Gadot is an outspoken supporter of Israel, not just because Rachel Zegler is obnoxious and shat over all of the source material of the original Snow White, not just because there's supposed to be 7 dwarfs and it's a live-action film, but they made them all animated. No, it's everything. And also, too, people have said this online, and it begs the question, why does Disney keep making live-action remakes? Just stop. Make new things. I don't want to have to see a live-action version of a better cartoon. There's no reason. We don't need to see this. I didn't need to see live action Dumbo. I wasted my money when I saw live action Lion King because it's all animated. It wasn't even live action. It was all just CGI animals. Sure, it kind of looked good sometimes, but the cartoon looked better. The cartoon was better. Why should I have to see a Little Mermaid of a remake? I fell asleep during the Little Mermaid remake. The Black Little Mermaid, which could have been amazing. I don't know. It was that boring to me in the beginning. I mean, I wasted a night on that mermaid movie. We can continue to go on here. I didn't see the Beauty and the Beast remake. Why? Because it probably sucked. I just, like these things. And this is why Disney is losing so much money. This is why Disney is losing their credibility. Because at one point in time, they made the greatest stories ever. I mean, in the 90s alone, when you look at all the animated movies that they popped out, right? You got Aladdin, you got Lion King, you have Little Mermaid, you have Tarzan, you have Pocahontas, you have Mulan, all the Disney prince and princess movies that you have. And they knocked it out of the park. Completely knocked it out of the park. And then they bought Pixar, and you have all the Disney Pixar movies, and they knocked it out of the park. And then for some reason now in the 2020s, they're just not making new things. It's all sequels. It's all Incredibles 2. It's all Toy Story 5. It's all Finding Nemo 2. Maybe that was the back part of 2010 to 2020. But nevertheless, in the past 7-8 years, it's all been remakes. Every single thing has been remakes. They can't make an original thing anymore. And it's so frustrating if you're looking at it from a creativity standpoint, I don't understand because they're suffering. You would think, like everything else in this world now that's suffering for content, all the entertainment sucks. It's all remakes. Just do some mushrooms, think of some new things, and then make stories about them. It's not that hard. Writers, are they not being paid that much? You can't find a couple hungry writers to create a wonderful script, a couple dozen wonderful scripts, and put it onto paper and then make an animated film or a cartoon. I just don't understand. Sell the company. Influencers on YouTube. People on YouTube are making better things than this. That's all I'll say. I'm done talking about this topic. It is what it is, man. You're going to continue to waste money. Sell the company. Do something else. How about get Rachel Zegler on like a Twitch stream with Kai Cenat or Steve, I Show Speed. Maybe that'll do something. I don't know. Do something else.